Hey Marietta, so we back with Harley. Okay, George regained consciousness by slow degrees. His head is splitting, his mouth is dry, his stomach is subsiding. He has no idea how much he drank, but it must have been plenty to have a hangover this horrible. And where did he drink it? A faculty party? A writing seminar get together? Where he unwisely decided to imbibe like the student he once was? Did he get drunk after the latest argument with Freddie? None of those things seemed right. He opened his eyes, ready for morning glare that would send another blast of pain through his poor, abused head. But the light is soft, kind light, considering his current state of distress. He seems to be laying on a futon or a yoga mat. There is a bucket beside it, a plastic floor bucket that could have come from Walmart or the Dollar Tree. He knows what is there for, and all at once he also knows what dogs must have felt like when the bell rang, because he only has to look at the bucket for his belly to go into spasms. He gets on his knees and throws up violently. There is a pause, long enough to take a couple of breaths, and then he does it again. His stomach settles, but for a moment his head aches so furiously he thinks it will split open and fall into pieces to the floor. He closes watering eyes and waits for the pain to subside. Eventually it does, but the taste of vomit in his mouth and nose is rancid. Eyes still closed, he fumbles for the bucket and spits into it until his mouth is at least partially clear. He opens his eyes again, raise his head cautiously, and see bars. He's in a cage. It's roomy, but it's a cage all right. Beyond it is a long room. The overhead lights must be on a roster because the room is dim. He sees a concrete floor that looks clean enough to eat off. Not that he feels like eating. The half of the room in front of the cage is empty. In the middle is a flight of stairs. There is a push broom leaning against them. Beyond the stairs is a well-equipped workshop with tools hung on pegs and bandsaw tables. There is also a compound miter saw. Nice tools, not cheap. Several hinge, trimmer, and clippers. An array of wrenches carefully hung from the biggest to the smallest. A line of chrome sockets on a workable beside a door going somewhere. All the usual home handyman shit, and everything looking well maintained. There's no sawdust under the bandsaw table. Beyond it is a piece of machine he never seen before, big and yellow and boxy, almost the size of an industrial habit unit. George decided that's what it must be, because there's a rubber hose going through one panel wall, but he never seen one like it. If there's a brand name, it's on the side he can't see. He looks around the cage and what he sees scares him. It isn't so much the bottles of Dasani water standing on an orange crate serving at a table. It's the blue plastic box squatted in the corner beneath the sloping ceiling. That's a porta john, the kind of invalid use when they can still get out of bed but aren't able to make it all the way to the nearest bathroom. George doesn't feel capable of standing yet, so he crawls to it and lifts the lid. He sees blue water in a bowl and get a whiff of disinfectant strong enough to make his eyes start watering again. He closes it and knee walks back to the futon. Even in his current fucked up state, he knows what the porta john means. Someone intends for him to be here a while. He's been kidnapped, not by one of the cartels as in the novel, and not in Mexico or Colombia either. Crazy as it seems, he has been kidnapped by a couple of elderly professors, one of them a colleague, and if this is their basement, he's not far from his own house. Where's Freddie? Freddie will be reading in the living room and having a cup of. But no, Freddie is gone, at least for now. left after the latest argument in his usual huff. He examined his crisscross bars. They are steel and neatly welded. It must be a job done in this very workshop. There are certainly no jail cells or rust that such an item could be ordered from, but the bars look solid enough. He grabbed one in both hands and shakes it. No give. He looks at the ceiling and sees white panel drills with small holes. Soundproofing. He sees something else too. A glass eye peering down. George turns his face up to it. And are you there? What do you want? And I'll be back. Look, Harley.